Hello, welcome back to the Waffle Press Movie Podcast.
It's never true.
Which is also a video game podcast today because Nick and I went to E3 a couple weeks ago when it happened. It was a lot of fun. We also got free beer.
We did! Devolver is awesome.
Devolver is great.
It's so cool.
We also saw a lot of other great things. So that's Nick Valero. Usually I introduce Gene first, but he didn't go to E3. But that's okay because we got other stuff to talk about today.
I was working,
That's
so.
next year.
Yeah.
That's next year. We need to get him in.
Yes, that's the goal.
I ended up working those days. So.
Did you end up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
still
no
on
matter
that
what,
TV
no matter
show.
what it takes, we're gonna find a way to get you.
Okay.
No matter who we have to bribe
No.
or do anything else.
No, we're ethical. We're not the Trump administration, Nicholas. Come on.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah. Okay, so it's actually kind of funny then because we each have like different perspectives on things that another one might not have today. Gene's going to introduce to Hereditary when we get there during the movie review section. Nick played some stuff at E3 that I didn't get my hands on, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
it's very exciting.
Diego had to go to go to.
I had to go watch
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, and so he didn't get to.
I'll talk
stay
about
all-
that.
He didn't get to
I'll
stay
talk
all
about
of
that
E3.
though. Yeah, I was there for 2.5 days, which I mean pretty good.
Yeah.
I had a good time, and
Yeah,
I'm not
we
the
gotta-
biggest video game
We
guy.
gotta hang
so.
out with our friends from Hyperkin. And,
Yes, yay,
yeah,
Hyperkin. Thank you,
They
Terrence
fed
and
us.
Celia.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Their food was really good. I don't know where they got food, but it was really good.
And thank you, Hannah, for not letting me burn down the booth. That's not important, though. Okay, so first off, let's talk about E3, Nick.
That was really fun. Gene, you watched the press conference.
Yeah, I watched all.
Did you have anything that you were really I kind of want to play that, or I wanted to get my hands on it?
Yeah, even though I don't have any idea what it's about, Death Stranding.
Nobody knows what that's about.
Yeah. Death Stranding is going to be my number one from everything I saw.
That's
It looks like a walking simulator, but
Fun
still-
fact, we saw as much as you did, and we were at E3.
Yeah, you're right.
So-
It's not like I missed anything
The
for that
only thing
game.
Son of a
No.
bitch.
The only thing I got to see more is because I got to actually see Kojima
You gotta
Like in
like,
person?
and
walk
high
by
five.
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does he like glow?
No, but
Because he's like Mads
glows.
Mikkelsen, where it's just like, are you even real? You know, like
no, but we but
went
me-
into a
but-
box.
But me and
Yeah.
Galizzi were like keeping our eyes on him because we're like, oh, this time he's not getting in a fucking box. because like 4 years ago we saw him
Yeah.
and he was coming out of IGN, and then we went to the exit to go like get him to sign something, and dude disappeared. Like he was gone. Like he vanished.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, and then we all started joking, going like, "Look for a box. He's probably under there." So we were by the mixer booth, and we just see this giant crowd, me and Galizzi, because Galizzi had like an hour, and we were like, "Oh, I wonder what that is." And he's like, "Wouldn't it be funny if it was Kojima?" And then we
And
walk
it
by,
was.
and it's fucking Kojima. We're just like, "Oh my god, it's Kojima!"
How tall is it?
He's about like, I mean, I'm sitting, but he's like probably like yay.
Yeah, okay.
He's a wee little,
He's a little dude.
He's a wee little lad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really cool, and like he was surrounded by like a bunch of nerds, and you could just kind of see him like kind of
To
scared.
E3, everyone's surrounded by a bunch of
But it was
nerds.
really funny because you can kind of see he was a little scared of just like, oh, you guys gotta get me the hell out of here.
Get me away from these
Like,
people.
I'm really scared.
Like, yeah, on the rankings of like rabid fan base, just like Star Wars video game nerds.
Yeah, Kojima's
it's up
like,
there.
Kojima's definitely up there.
But yeah, Death Stranding I'm looking forward to. The reveals for the game, I guess they were reveals.
The only thing that they
Technically,
Well,
Kojima did say in which no one knows if it's a joke,
Yeah.
if whether or not it's going to be 12 hours of his cutscene and 2 hours.
yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a
Kojima
lot
said
of
that like in an interview, and like everybody was like, "Is he fucking joking?"
He's probably joking.
But
Yeah,
also,
you know
I wouldn't
what?
be surprised.
like because I know he's gone on record and people ask him like, you know, would you ever be interested in like other mediums like art forms and stuff?
would
And
love
he's
to
like,
read.
yeah, he seems like a dude who'd direct the shit out of like some weird art house movie.
Yeah, he's
I
a
would really
pretty
like that.
big
I
cinephile.
think,
Yeah, he's
I
a
think-
big like Nicholas Winding Refn fan, so clearly like
Hangs out with him.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
you know
hangs
what?
out with him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that, and also I kind of wouldn't mind those what was it those the live action kind of games where you make choices and
Oh.
shit like that. I think that'd be kind of interesting. for
Maybe.
Kojima to do.
But
Yeah, I have no idea. All we know is there's a baby and
the baby
and
eats a baby.
and-
Someone eats a baby.
and Reedus is in it. Like
Norman Reedus. Well,
Norman Reedus,
I like
that's
the
about it.
stuff that you found out at the conference, like the Bionic Woman was going to be in it. Lindsay, what's her name?
Yeah, it's weird that
The actress name.
he de-aged her. He was like, "Oh yeah, I want to."
Well, maybe that's part of the story.
Like, I
no one knows. Like we
don't
just
know.
We
all
could
we know
assume
is
that.
all we know is that there's characters, Norman Reedus walks a lot in the game, and then
And
there's
Leia
a baby.
Seydoux in
Leia
it. She's
Seydoux.
the one who
Yeah.
eats the weird baby maggot thing.
But no,
Yeah.
I mean that's
That was
cool.
weird.
Bionic Woman.
But yeah,
Yeah, I like that. It was
it's a
just
Kojima
weird when he
game, so
explained
it's probably gonna be pretty good.
So
It's gonna be really fucking weird though.
yeah,
gonna be out
of course.
there.
Yeah, it's gonna be really.
But that was the one thing I was looking forward to, and it
that one was really
it
cool.
was-
Diego, what about you? What was your favorite game from the show?
So I got two things. I'm really looking forward to The Last of Us 2.
Okay.
I thought that was
That was a good.
because at first
trailer.
the first teaser they released it was just like this violent, gory thing. I'm like,
don't
yeah,
remember
I
that.
get it. Like
Yeah.
they like eviscerate some dude while he's hanging from a tree.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I love The Last of Us. This is just you trying to be like aggressively like,
Edgy.
isn't this like edgy and stuff? I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not why I care about The Last of Us. Like the characters. And this one's like all about that. And like the filmmaking, I guess like video game making
Yeah.
in this, like the way like they cut like from the flashback to the present with like
Yeah.
the panning around the
That was
kiss,
really cool.
which turns into her like stabbing a dude in the throat. I was like, what is happening? This is so cool. Like
Yeah.
not the event, but like the way
Like,
they made it.
the jumping of time and everything like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was like holy shit, it looks great. And then there's that bit where that thug like pushes Ellie down to the ground.
Yeah.
And then the lights like flowing from behind him, and then she just plugs him full of like bullets. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, this looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that was like kind of unfortunate about it was that all we got was the trailer. Like there was no gameplay. There was no.
Yeah, that's why
like,
I'm of two minds of this.
Yeah, like-
it looks great, but I think my favorite thing walking away from E3 because I got my hands on it was Skull and Bones, the
Yes,
pirate game
we
we
were talking
played.
about, yes.
Pirate game?
Yeah,
It's Ubisoft's
so
pirate
much
game.
fun.
It's,
Okay.
okay, so imagine if
is
you
the
got
best.
Black Flag and then took out all the shitty Assassin's Creed's parts and then just had a really awesome pirate game.
It's
That's the
that.
game. Yeah.
And as someone who loves Black Flag but doesn't like Assassin's Creed, this was it. That was it. Like I was one from that. We played on the first day too.
Yeah, we played.
So
we-
like
we
that
were
was
able-
it for me.
It was actually really cool because we had gotten there and like we lucked out. The line was like super short. It was super short. We literally jumped in line and then 5 minutes into our line, this line went all the way to the back. Like it expanded super
Yeah, we really
fast.
got lucky on that one.
Yeah, we got
That was-
super
that was
lucky.
cool.
But the really cool thing about it was that, as you were playing, you can then make friends while you're there, and you can also have like rivalries. So you can even like battle other like ships.
Other pirates.
Yeah.
When you-
no,
yeah.
other players. We were at the booth. They hook you up with like a row of like 8 people. So 4 on one
Yeah.
side of a table like this, and then
table,
4
and
on
then
the other
4
side. And
You were all the
there's-
same world.
Yeah, you could be on the same team and hijack other ships and like
Yeah.
attack
Yeah.
other ships, or you all try to kill each other. Which we did a mix of that.
Yeah,
At first,
so-
we kind of tried taking each other
Yeah.
out, and then we
murdered
teamed
him.
up. Yeah, we did.
Sounds
But
fun.
once we teamed up, we were
Oh, no,
basically
yeah.
unstoppable.
That
It was kind of
so
great.
it was really funny because as we were playing, so the idea of the game is that it's you're doing piratry, but you're no longer doing it in the Caribbean. You're doing it.
This is what sold me.
Yeah, you're doing it in like the Indian Ocean and everything else. So you're because the Caribbean has become too basically piracy is like too outlawed.
Okay.
The
in
East
Caribbean.
India Trading
too
Company.
much heat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's too much heat. So now we're gonna go to India, and we're gonna go cut them off, and we're gonna go just do piracy and become like the biggest pirates in fucking India, and shit like that.
It's a pirate game about colonialism.
And
Holy
because,
shit.
And because the colonists and because colonialism is going that way, you're just robbing the shit out of colonialists. It's fucking
Colonists.
awesome. Colonists. Why could I not get that word out?
I don't know.
Anyway, but the thing that was really cool about it was that let's say that you're battling a ship that was way stronger than you. You could call a friend to then help you, and then you can get like 8 people to all help you kill this guy. And then you could split the fucking treasure, and you can all go like, all right, cool, we all get like a little bits of treasure and shit like that. Or you could fucking kill each other like pirates do, and whoever can
was
get the
great.
gold
You
is
into
whoever
this.
get the gold.
No, it was
so much
such
fun.
a good time.
Yeah.
It was and not only that, but also me and Diego were at the end of the game, at the end of the demo. Our lives are pretty low and everything like that. And the guys like, you guys only got 45 seconds, and we see the other 6 players coming, and they've all banded together to make their own little like pirate village. I mean, like their own little like tribe of pirates, and they're all like, let's just kill everything. And me and Diego see it, we're just like, let's fucking kill them. And we literally just sail into the middle of like 6 pirate ships, and we're able to kill like at least a good 4 of them. Like there was only like 2
got
ships
it.
left.
I
We
was
killed a
very
lot of
impressed
them.
with us.
Yeah.
For that.
Like and then the demo finally ends, and then both of us explode, and we were just like, oh, we went down like men. It was awesome.
Like
It was,
real pirates.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and by God, I was like, I want to buy this game. Like by the time I finished the demo, I was like, I want to
Buy
this
this
game.
right
I
now.
want to buy. If they were selling it,
I
probably
would have
would've bought
got
it.
it though
I probably
too.
would have
Yeah.
bought it and everything like that.
What about yours?
The one game that I got that was like kind of like was like the hardest fucking game to get at E3 was Kingdom Hearts. That was like the hardest game to get while you were there.
Could imagine one.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
the line.
People only waited like I don't know how many years, 16, whatever.
Yeah,
now?
no, the line every single time we
3,000?
went up there was somewhere near 3 to 4 hours, like just to wait to get to like play this demo and stuff like that. It was really cool. The mechanics are really nice. It's very fluid. It feels a lot like they took the mechanics from 2.5 and 2.8,
Yeah.
and then they upgraded them, and they were just like, okay, these mechanics worked really well. We're gonna take them and we're gonna put them in 3, and then we're just gonna give them like a couple of like little cool things. So like
Yeah.
now you have guns and you can do and like you can summon different things and like but they all have to do with like different Disney movies and everything else.
Right.
It's really fun.
A shout out to them for like acknowledging that the Pirates of the Caribbean world didn't go over so well in Kingdom Hearts 2.
So we're gonna double down.
Yeah, but they fixed the problem because in Kingdom Hearts 2 it was just like the juxtaposition between like photorealism with the Pirates characters and then like anime with the Kingdom Hearts characters
Square
is
Enix,
weird.
yeah.
So they
They
just
got a nice
made
little
them
mix.
Yeah, it makes it flow better.
It looks they look photorealistic but also not.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like it's a nice little blend of
they're video
like,
games.
Yeah, but I mean like
Buster
they use the art style and they mixed it a proper way.
And
so
there's
that
this
when you
weird
jump
like
in-
Hydra heartless thing that was like,
Yeah.
oh, I love dragons. So
Not only
this
that,
is
but also
great.
it was really cool because you can actually like get the powers of like Simba or like one of the summonings is you can actually summon the teacups ride, and like basically like teacups.
Wait, the
just-
Disney one, right?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
you can summon the teacups ride, and like all the teacups are just like going around, just hitting all the enemies and stuff like that. They're bouncing off the enemies and and you're just like inside the middle of one, and you're just like killing everything. It's a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Were you surprised by any characters that they included in this time?
You know what? The only thing me and Diego got into an argument about was whether or not Johnny Depp was actually in the game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his voice.
Yeah, because like whoever they got, either if they got the guy that did if they got Johnny Depp, cool. If not, the voice actor they got,
No,
Well,
it's
I mean-
not cool.
Well, I mean, if they got Johnny Depp, good for him. because he
Really
got-
quick,
you
we
know.
should all read the Rolling Stone piece that came
pretty
out.
Stole?
Rolling Stone.
The Rolling Stone did a great.
Is that pretty
profile on him.
depressing?
Did they really?
That man is. I almost feel bad for him, but
Almost.
he's clearly like scum of the earth, so I don't
Almost.
care that much.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I guess
So
good for him that he got a job. I don't know. Like,
look, man.
Cool, you got a
got to
job.
be a certain type of asshole to lose $600 million.
Yeah. Could imagine like he spent it all. Do you remember The Simpsons where he spends it? Bleeding Gums Murphy spends it all on Fabergé eggs. Probably
It's
wasted
basically
his
Johnny.
money.
Except no, he's an alcoholic. He's like
Oh,
a
okay.
severe alcoholic.
So,
it's really
anyway,
sad.
but whoever they got sounds a lot like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like, it was like really close and everything like that.
So they got another severe alcoholic.
Either that or they got the guy from the Clone Wars.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, what
James
other
Taylor?
games interested you? Because I got two more I want to mention. We
Spider-Man.
gotta move on.
Spider-Man was a lot of fun.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Okay.
I didn't get to play
I
that.
got.
You didn't get to play
I
that?
got to.
Damn.
Every single
Last
time
day we're on different schedules.
we were
Yeah.
on totally different schedule, and because I was by myself, I like when you're by yourself, you can scheme your way into. certain
Yeah, that's true.
places And shit like that, because literally, I was just like, I'm by myself, and the girl was like, "Sorry, the line's closed," and I'm like, "I'm just one person. Is there any way you can get it?" I literally leave. Like I'm not.
You
even
know
sure
who I
I'm
am.
No. What I told her was, I go literally. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to like play this game because I have to leave soon and everything like that. And she was like, all right, well, you're just one person. Go ahead. And I was like, ha ha ha! I don't have to leave for like 6 hours. I'm here. So, but yeah, no, Spider-Man was really cool. I know I used the terminology, but I mean, it really does play like Batman. Like Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
but like if you got Batman and then he fights like Spider-Man, but like all the mechanics were there. Like what was it? He had you could see like Spidey sense go off when somebody was about to attack you, and there was like a counter button where you can then like flip over people or like dodge or anything like that. You can use your web slingers, and like there was a combination of buttons that you can like use specific things. Or you could use the environment around you. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was really cool, and not only that, but also it was a completely open world where you had the entire island of Manhattan to yourself, and you're just web swinging all over town, just saving the day. You know, there was like bank robberies, and there was like what was it?
It's all
like,
very lived in.
Yeah, it was.
That's cool.
It was very cool where you can where there's like little tiny things that are going on, not just the main story. Where like there was like a little old lady. There was an actual one where you can help a little old lady get a cat from a tree. And stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
great. That's
and
great.
like there's like one where like these guys are like sticking up a convenience store, and then like as they're exiting, you just see Spider-Man come out of nowhere, and then like you see him like web them up, and then he like goes like, all right, cool, bye, and like he takes off and stuff like that. So it very much felt like you were in the universe of Spider-Man.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was
Oh,
really
Did
cool.
you guys hear about the secret villain who's not that secret? If you
Probably Dr. Octopus.
skip ahead to 10 seconds. Don't say the name. All right, in 3, 2, 1, skip ahead. It's
Dr.
Dr. Octopus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say it. Don't say it again.
I would
But like,
imagine, I would imagine so.
I mean, it's kind of obvious when you see what they're assembling.
Yeah.
So it's
Sinister
like
Six.
whatever, yeah. The other two I wanted to mention, a smaller one, Desert Child, which is like a kind of retro, like Cowboy Bebop style,
was really cool.
little indie game
Yeah, I really
that's
liked
coming
it.
out soon. I think it's an alpha stage.
It's an alpha stage.
Right, yeah, and that was just the vibe, the way it played and everything. That was right up my alley. Like I'm gonna buy the shit out of that.
It was very retro, and like like as you were doing, because you're basically racing through the desert and stuff like that. And you're trying to do specific things, but like you have to like replenish your energy. So you have to go to the I think you have to go to like the diner and go eat, and then you have to like repair your bike and shit like that. But it was really cool. It had the same art style as Hotline Miami.
Yeah, yeah.
It very much like resembled Hotline Miami.
Yeah, but it doesn't look as mean. Ignore that. That wasn't anything.
No, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't look as mean.
Yeah.
It's a lot more like peppy and a lot more like.
I don't know about peppy. It's very much like a piece of Cowboy Bebop's like
Yeah.
style, like
And
that moodiness, that
and
loneliness.
I
that,
think that's what
like,
sold you.
Jazz
because
riff. Oh yeah,
when we
'cause
were
Cowboy
talk-
Bebop's the shit.
when we were talking to one of the developers of the game, he was like, "Oh no, we took a lot of like inspiration from Cowboy Bebop," and like Diego was like, "Really?"
Yeah, that was
Like
that
as
was
soon as he
great.
said that, Diego was just like, "I'm in. I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing."
And then the other one, just because I'm a huge Spyro fan, and because the game felt exactly as it did back then with updated graphics for now, Spyro.
Is it like an update?
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
remaster.
severe like remaster.
Okay.
And it plays wonderfully. It's
Did you end up doing with the patch?
I still have it.
It's just sitting in your room.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it to something. I don't know. I'm gonna
Okay.
get another jacket for it. But no, it's if you're a Spyro fan, if you're not a Spyro fan, but yeah, it's one of those games that's fun for all ages. And so I think honestly we need more games like that because so many games like so many different things, but not fun for the whole
All ages?
family.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
often.
Is it
And,
still by Naughty Dog?
No, it was
What-
never by Naughty Dog. It
It's like
was.
Insomnia.
Insomnia?
I think it's Insomniac. Yeah, and yeah, it played like a dream, and I cannot wait
Jack and
for that.
Jack and
Yeah.
Daxter was not done. But no, yeah, Spyro was really fun. Everything, which was actually really funny because I went to the when I went back to the booth because every single day they were giving out different like new pieces of like swag.
Sure.
And Diego wanted to get every single piece.
Yeah.
But also Diego didn't want to go like back to the booth.
No, that's not what happened. I was covering other booths.
Yeah, he went to go cover the
Which
booth.
you're seeing over the video
Yeah.
feed right now as we're talking.
So what ended up happening was that Diego went to go, which I have to admit that was really cool. He went to Fallout 76.
Oh, that's
and he was
right.
standing in line, and then like I'm like trying to hurry up to get into Fallout 76, and I look at the Spyro line, and I'm like, it's only 2 people.
I would have done the same.
I can
No.
wait. And like I went in and I played it again, got the little patch for Diego, and then as
Thank
soon
you.
as I got up there, Diego was literally making an appointment to get to Fallout, and I'm like, oh, I was in the bathroom. Can I get in? And the guy's like, yeah. So we got best of both worlds. It was
Yeah,
fun.
dope.
He got his
Okay.
Spyro thing,
That's
and
cool.
I got and that was a cool booth.
Yes, I have the glasses with me right now, actually.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
I'll put a picture up.
Bethesda had a really cool like.
Yeah, it was a full-on like Fallout experience. We got to move on to movie stuff right now, but like the
Sure.
Bethesda booth, they didn't have any gameplay. Literally like nothing visually for Fallout 76, but the
Yeah.
booth was fun.
Was it a nice looking book?
That's all I got.
It was,
yeah. It was
it was
very
a-
interactive.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
it was a period. It was very much period, and it was celebrating because Fallout 76 is the first vault.
In
It's
the
all
game
about,
universe?
In their universes, is all about like the very first vaults, and like everybody getting assigned their vaults and everything like that. So
Sure.
when you went to the booth, you stood in the line, and then once you went, you actually got like a card that showed was like, hey, this is you, and everything like that. Like this is your admittance into the vault, and then you actually went through like tests, so charisma, lucky, and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you just got to do everything like that, and that was really cool. It was a lot of fun. We don't know where fucking Kyle went.
Oh yeah, Kyle, if you're out, we lost someone on the tour. We thought it was part of the in-universe joke, but that person just left, I guess.
Okay.
But it was really funny.
And so we never found that person again throughout the whole little
So,
routine.
because when we were in there, we were doing like this puzzle that we had to do with like items and stuff like that.
Sure.
And as we were in there, he had set us down a couple. Like he was like, "Oh no, put it right here." And they were the wrong answers. So the guy was like, "This guy Kyle, you guys should really get rid of him. You know, he's gonna get you guys all killed." And we were like, "Oh, that's funny." And then we all left that room, and then we looked back. He was gone.
So like I don't know how like serious you're taking this, but there might have actually been a murder at this booth, and we just didn't even realize
seriously
it.
though, like there was 4 of us, there were 5 of us, went down to 4, and we were just like, does somebody get picked off every single one? Like, are they just gonna slowly ask us to leave?
Yeah,
every
so
single time.
I don't know, but
So that was really cool.
yeah, E3 was solid,
It was a lot of fun.
solid
A
stuff
lot of
this
fun.
year.
The
Yeah,
only,
good looking games.
Yeah, the only negative I had to say about it is there was a lot of booths that were copying games. Like games, you could play a specific game that was new.
Oh, that's not a negative
and,
for
like,
me at all. I
5 or
just
6
wish I knew about it.
Yeah, there was.
Oh, okay. Tomb Raider, really quick. Not looking forward to it as much as I was.
Yeah, after playing the demo.
Yeah, it plays fine. The story looks bad. I'll have to go in more in detail about that another time because we got to move on.
What's the Tomb Raider movie?
Do we have a sponsor today, Jim?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, then we're gonna cut to that right now.
What are you chewing loudly into the microphone there?
Oh, I'm eating a churro from the Grizzly Churro.
It seems very oddly product placement.
Shut up now.
Ooh, can I get a pop? I love this new sponsor, Grizzly Churro Company. Definitely the best churros in SoCal.
Yeah, they make all their ingredients homegrown.
Oh, we're not paid to say this.
If you want to find them, go ahead and find them at Grizzly Churros on their social media down below.
Wasn't that great? I love money. So, we're here to talk about movies now. E3's dead until next year, and then we're all going to go back to it like the capitalist slaves we are. But, Gene, you saw a movie that neither Nick and I saw, but I intended to see it and I missed out on
You
it.
see it?
really wanna
I'll
see
probably
it.
have to watch it like tomorrow or something. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to postpone recording this episode because I want to get this up by Monday morning.
Okay.
But Hereditary is making the waves for horror fans, for movie fans. Some people like it more than others. A little controversial at times. It reminds me of The Witch in terms of reception, where most people love it, but other people are like, "Does this really count as a horror movie?" Because they don't know what they're
Yeah.
talking about. You know?
Well, what I liked about it was I would say maybe audience wise it's like The Witch, and maybe it's divisive, but I would say it's more like The Exorcist, where it's like a drama up until like a certain point, and then it becomes like a horror film.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is gonna be my favorite movie of the year,
Yeah.
is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
cool.
would compare it more to The Exorcist, if anything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
But
interesting.
I really enjoyed The Witch. I saw it, I think it came out 2 weeks ago. Saw it opening day, and
You mean Hereditary?
Hereditary, excuse me.
No, we saw The Witch.
Yeah.
That movie
Was
cursed
Yeah,
me.
cursed you. Had a bunny nose. Hereditary, I saw opening day, and I didn't see any of the trailers. I just
I still have it, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it that way.
it was
I haven't
incidental.
seen any of the trailers either.
I
think
wasn't
we're-
like, I want to be surprised. It was just like, I know this is a good movie, and I just didn't get a chance to see any of the trailers. But someone said to see it, so I saw it, and it's just like a horror film that I wouldn't say it's less about jump scares. There are some scares. It's not jump-esque scares,
It's
but
much more of like a psychological horror.
elements. I would just say it really just like the whole thing is just unsettling and creepy. Like it makes you feel like my friend, another horror filmmaker, he said it's not scary. It's like ruin your life. It's like it ruins your life. It kills your dog. It makes you not sleep for like a
It's that
week.
line from 21 Jump Street. We're trying to show them a good time, not ruin their fucking life.
Yeah. It'll ruin your fucking life.
Friend of the show, Shannon Strucci at Strucci Movies on YouTube. Go check out her stuff. She did a really good review of Hereditary. I only listened to about 10 minutes of it because I didn't want to get spoiled by anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know how in depth she was going to go with that. But she has a really great breakdown of it too because we gotta hop on other stuff. But You'd recommend it?
I would recommend it. And Ari, I believe his name's Ari Asher.
Ari Aster, I think.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the name. So
Yeah.
it's like his first movie too,
Yeah,
huh?
I believe it's like one of his first movies, if
That's
not his
cool.
first film.
That's cool,
So
yeah.
that's pretty cool that he managed to put out like such a classic,
I like
nice first
in
film.
the past couple of years, like first time like directing of especially of anything, but just in general like horror films. Like it's like they're already gonna be like, oh yeah, they're classics. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be classic.
Yeah,
I think we
there's-
should hold back on terms
Yeah.
like classics. Not that I'm not gonna like it or
Yeah.
dislike it, whatever. Just like these are great movies
Iconic,
coming out of
yeah.
the gate. You
Could
know?
see something
iconic,
new,
classic. Like, I think we should hold off on that when they come out like 2
Well, I mean,
years
some
ago,
stuff
you
you
know?
could just tell.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
sometimes
I
you can
feel
tell, but,
I feel like this is exception.
I feel like Get Out will become like a classic.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I agree with that too. But like,
But
let's talk about it
Yeah,
in the
I
now.
will,
you
I
know?
will
We
say,
need to look
yeah,
to the
I will
future
say
and
like
think
probably like drink something after.
ahead. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Have a
that's great.
stiff
I
drink.
love drinking.
Have a stiff drink after.
Okay. How about
'Cause
an old
it's just-
fashioned?
Oh yeah, old fashioned. We
That'll
can.
work.
Speaking of old
Yeah, I
fashioned,
don't want to spoil anything else.
there's no old school like the old school. So I'm glad that we can shift the conversation to Incredibles 2, a movie about old school versus new school, and a whole lot of other things. Nick,
Yeah,
would you like to introduce this episode?
Yeah. This is
Movie, not episode.
this is all Incredibles 2 is something that Brad Bird has been cooking up since the end of Incredibles 1. You know, they've been really going in, diving in, and trying to get like what exactly they could do for this sequel. And I think that the sequel it really pays off. It really shows that there was a lot of time and there's a lot of love into this movie because it really does hit all the right points. You know, it does like a role reversal with specific things. How in depth do you want me to go?
Let's just
Spoilers
do
or-
spoilers for this one because
Spoilers for
Incredibles.
Incredibles?
The next two movies, they're pretty big
Yeah, they're
blockbusters.
pretty-
I think
yeah.
we're going to talk spoilers for Fallen Kingdom and Incredibles 2 from here on out. Just a heads up.
Okay, so I'll leave when I fall in.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, but I do think that Incredibles did a really good job. I mean, I really loved seeing the family aspect of of them, becoming a closer knit family. You know, they're all out with their powers and they're all open to experiencing new things and like becoming heroes. And I think that's really awesome. And I think that the villain is a little bit weaker and not as fun as Syndrome. You know, the Screenslaver is it's a villain and everything like that. But I think what she meant behind it was really good and everything like that. This depend because they do have a point. We are very dependent on screens. We're dependent on We're dependent on computers. We're dependent on everything like that. And very much once they're in front of us, we become slaves to it. And I think that's a really interesting message to go about, especially since it's a movie that takes place in the '60s.
Well,
Does it? It's an alternate little.
Yeah,
No,
thing.
in the-
I don't think it's in the 60s.
It is. It's 1962 was the original movie.
Are you sure?
Original movie.
I'm pretty sure there's no like set.
Well,
thing.
like, what can you
it's
say
like
to back
an
this up?
alternate thing.
Like, did you
Yeah.
see a news
when
on?
Mr. Parr picks up the newspaper, it says June 25th, 1962.
Okay, well, we'll have to see a
Then it's
screenshot
even
of it.
weirder for me that Screenslaver is the villain in this then, because like they had old TVs.
They
Was
did
it?
everything like
Well,
that.
yeah, because I always assumed
much-
it's like
much more
like
a
Batman
modern-
the animated series or Superman.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
was my
Or
thing.
just
like,
as an
it was a
Art Deco
DC
style.
thing basically. Like
It has like an
it's-
Art Deco
Yeah.
style for.
I mean,
some
but I really
In
do.
the
I
past.
really liked it and everything like that. I think that there was a couple of like really cool scenes in it. You know, you actually get to see Elastigirl finally, being-
Unleashed.
Yeah.
like finally unleashed, and you got to see.
Not
it.
that she wasn't like the best part of the first movie,
Yeah,
basically.
but I love the idea that they were just like Jack was like secretly like a genius character, and we should have used him more inside of Incredibles 1.
Right.
I really did enjoy the whole like.
I'll straight up disagree with you right there.
Did you like the Jack?
No.
parts?
Like I love Jack. I'm saying like I don't think they realized they did anything wrong with Jack. I think they used him the amount they needed to in the first movie.
Yeah.
And they used him the amount they needed to in this movie.
No, you know what,
Jack
you're right.
is the shit.
I
If you
love
don't like
Jack
Jack, you're just like an asshole.
I love Jack, and I think that's the entire idea of Jack attacks and everything like that.
Yeah.
That little tiny short.
Sure.
But I really did. I really enjoyed it, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like the entire time I had a grin on my face. The entire movie, just kind of going like, this is really good. Like,
Yeah.
it's, the villain is a little bit, it's kind of in front of your face. I mean, the entire time I was like, okay, I know
The
exactly-
villain,
I know who the villain is.
I love Incredibles 2
Yeah.
with all my heart, while also being like, oh yeah, thematically, this is all over the like every 15 to 20 minutes, there's like a new like theme that concludes and moves on to another section, and now it feels like a series of like short films that end up making a full movie.
Kind of.
I'm okay with that. But to say that there's like any like thematic through line through the entire movie, I think is kind of a lie.
The only thing is that the only reason why I'm okay with it is because they figured out a way to make it work.
I'm okay with it because Brad Bird's the shit. Yeah. He directed the shit out of this movie.
He really did direct the shit out of this movie.
I would say that there's no like emotional height like compared to the first one. You know, like where you're like on the verge of tears of like excitement or anything. Like excitement's here still. But
Yeah,
like,
it didn't have quite like the same moments that the first one.
Like I always think of like the moment
scene
in the
like
first
with
one.
laser beam or anything like that?
no,
no,
like
no,
with
I mean, like,
Dash and he's like running.
No, not even that. Like just the moment where Mr. Incredible tells his family to wait in the van while he goes take on the giant robot, and they're like, "What? Like why? Like because you think that'll make you stronger?" And it's the revelation is that like he can't lose his family. He all this physical strength is nothing without his family, because that's the most important thing. There's no moment like that in this, and that's fine. Let's hold on for a second.
No moment like what? It cut off right in the middle of your sentence.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play stuff over it.
Oh shit, the card's full.
Nope. I'm gonna pause this.
Yeah. Yeah. Pause it. Yeah. Press pause.
Isn't it?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's going.
It's going? Okay. Oops. Shit. Shit, what was I saying?
through line.
Through line.
Okay. Yeah, there's no like thematic through line. There's nothing like really tying these sequences together except for the plot, which is fine. I that might sound a little harsh for this movie. I
Yeah.
really did love this movie, but I just feel that it's just like a stupid ass complaint everyone always says about sequels, like, oh, it's not as good as the first. Like it's not, but that's okay.
Well,
that's fine.
I mean,
The Incredibles is like my favorite Pixar movie. So.
I mean, let's be honest. There's only been one Pixar movie that's gotten better with its sequels, and that's Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's ever gotten better with its sequels.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I like, you're right. It doesn't have that scene where Mr. Incredible like basically says, I thought I lost you once and I can't, and I don't want to ever feel like that again. And that's a really interesting like emotional part. I mean, but it also Incredibles 1 was very like it was very much for adults. There's
It's
very
true
dark.
for the whole family movie. It's mature,
it's very
but kids get into it because there's a buoyancy to it. Brad Bird understands the limits of animation, how to like break them down entirely.
Yeah,
like holy shit! Like
I mean, if you really
he's
think about
so
it,
talented.
if you really think back on Incredibles 1, there's an entire part of the movie where Mrs. Incredible thinks that he's having an affair.
Yeah.
And like, as you're watching, you're going like, this is a kids movie. Like, why are we talking about like two people? Like, there's an entire scene where like as he's getting thinner, she continuously.
Or someone tries to commit suicide.
Yeah, there's a dude who tries to commit suicide in like the first 10 minutes.
Oh,
of the movie.
the syndrome dies by falling into a jet propeller.
Yeah.
There's like multiple heroes that die in the movie.
It's like
they've been
Baby
dead.
Watchmen. This is Baby's first Watchmen.
It actually does open up like Watchmen.
It's also much better a movie than Watchmen, but that's not
And
there.
also Fantastic Four. But
It's the best Fantastic
yeah, this
Four
is
movie.
this is actually the first film.
But yeah, no, I was really good. I was really surprised by it. It's good to see him get like another kind of hit. Yeah, hit at his hit because
This is incredible swing.
yeah. I really like Tomorrowland, but that like
I haven't
did
seen Tomorrowland
miserably.
yet.
Well, I like it. Yeah,
I was assuming I haven't seen Tomorrowland yet, but I'm also
came out 3 years ago.
I'm excited to watch it because I love Brad Bird.
Yeah,
His Mission Impossible is still my favorite Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just little things.
But wait, which Mission Impossible did he direct?
Ghost Protocol.
No shit. That
Yeah.
explains why I really like that movie.
Yeah, 'cause he's like one of our greatest action directors ever. I don't know why he doesn't direct more movies.
I'm like, wait a minute, what? I really like Ghost Protocol. Out of all the Mission, I just recently rewatched them, and I'm like, fuck, Ghost Protocol is really good.
Ghost Protocol's
Yeah.
the shit, yeah.
It's 'cause
But
Brad
okay, what I did love about The Incredibles 2 also is that like even though it doesn't have that moment, it builds upon that moment. I think in the role reversals, because like there's always like all these gender stereotypes. Where it's like, hey, mom stays at home while the dad goes and gets the paychecks and does the heavy lifting and stuff, and so like. Of course, you gotta kind of mix it up. Not only because like it's progressive, but like that's more challenging for both characters.
Sure.
Yeah, because
That's the best way to like challenge them, push them forward as a family unit. You know?
You get them out of their area of comfortability, and I really did enjoy watching those scenes where Mr. Incredible was just being at home with his kids.
Yeah.
He's trying to learn new math.
It's just a dad.
And he's just being a dad.
And that's what I was really worried about going into it, though, because none of the trailers really sold me. None of the modern Pixar trailers have been very good. All the movies have been pretty good, but when he's like yelling at math, like old man doesn't get new thing, and Screenslaver sounds like a fucking hokey ass villain.
Yeah,
that sounds like a baby boomer being like, technology is evil,
So does what was it? The Underminer.
The Underminer's cute. There's nothing like cynical about that. The other stuff on the surface, if it wasn't Brad Bird, if it was like Colin Trevor or something, that's a cynical ass movie. But Brad Bird understands that there's no black and white situation. That there's all this stuff in the middle, and then the Incredibles are just figuring all that out.
Well, I really liked the main villain's point of view. I really enjoyed her point of view of going, no, it's not that Supers could have saved my parents. It's Super's fault that my parents died, because if they would have just went into the safe room, and they would have just waited out the whole robbery, they would have been fine instead of depending on superheroes. They could have saved themselves. They didn't need superheroes. And I think it's an interesting idea of we have a lot of hero worship where a lot of people you just save yourself, and you don't have to depend on other people and stuff like that. And it's very interesting.
Right.
It's Brad Bird. I don't know if you guys know this. He has this common criticism from certain groups of people that his work is very objectivist and
such a surface level.
Yeah, I mean on the surface level I get it too, but the whole complaint is that for people who don't know that because his work is often about gifted people and how. On the surface, it looks like the movies are about the gifted people being held back by the regular people, and that's not that at all. The Incredibles, they're incredible, but they're people with flaws just like everyone else. They just have different struggles than we do. That's literally it. That's literally it's fiction. So I mean, I'm not saying to disregard that entirely. But I think that this movie more than anything else is him almost confronting that criticism. Yeah. Because the struggles here, Gene and I were talking about it after I saw it too, were the kids don't really have anything incredible going on until the finale, but it's their struggles are all normal stuff. Yeah, along with Mr. Incredible. Right? That's their thing.
I mean, technically, if you think about it, the only people that actually have Dash doesn't really do much in the movie.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed with...
He doesn't have a storyline in the movie.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there, and he's there to kind of be just an annoying little brother to Violet. That's about it.
Right.
But it's okay because... I think Dash's personality, he's a lot better in spurts than he is throughout an entire movie.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think if not, he would just get really annoying really quick. And he'd just be kind of okay, I'm done with Dash. You don't need to keep on showing me Dash. Whereas because he's just kind of sprinkled in there little pieces, you're I love Dash. Dash is so much fun.
Yeah, Dash is great. Dash is great. I really love Violet too. Because I know some people are they wanted to see the Incredibles age with us. And I'm glad they didn't, because the whole point of these characters, they're timeless as well. But the whole point of these characters and their powers are representative of the stage they are at their lives. Yeah, and what they represent in the family, in the traditional nuclear family unit. And so babies, you can't predict it, so it's all these superpowers. Dash is just fucking energetic little annoying boy, so he fucking runs all over the place. Violet's insecure and doesn't feel seen. Yeah, and so she's invisible, force fields, whatever. And that's Brad Bird's the shit. Brad Bird's the shit.
He's the best. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And it's very reminiscent of the first season of Misfits. That's why I think
Misfits and Heroes.
First season.
When those shows were good.
The good seasons of those shows are all about people who get powers that represent their inner struggle and stuff like that. And I do feel that's definitely what happens in The Incredibles and Incredibles 2. And I do like seeing Violet's, this whole thing of Violet being able to get the guy at the end of Incredibles 1, and then in order to save her secret identity, has to lose the guy, and now Mr. Incredible has to figure out how to get them back together.
Yeah. Not only that, it's because the whole thing, I guess if there is one big idea that carries out the entire movie, might be kind of a stretch, so if someone's I don't agree, I'll be yeah, I get it. Okay. Is that it's the parents fighting for the right for their kids to have a choice, and so she had that choice taken from her to how to deal with that situation, and so he's oh shit, that was wrong of me to do that, so now I got to make amends with my daughter by allowing her to have that choice later.
Yeah. Because Yeah, because he didn't even give him the choice of like going like, oh, I will tell people or I won't tell people. Yeah, and he kind of just ripped that away from her, and it's an interesting idea and everything like that. I mean,
And the supers had happened to them. They had the choice taken away from them whether or not they wanted to help people or not.
And I did, because I was thinking like also that, you know, especially with like all these new superheroes that they were introducing and stuff like that, and like these heroes that have all been kind of in hiding and stuff like that. These people that have been like, oh well, we've had to hide who we are and everything like that. Now get a new world that they can kind of come out to and everything like that. And to think that, you know, Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl and Frozo would kind of be like those poster children of like the old guard kind of like coming back and like being able to save everybody. All these people that have been like downsized.
Yeah.
Damn good movie.
Yeah, great. Maybe the best cinematography of all year. Not just because it's animation; you could do literally anything with it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just gorgeous looking.
Yeah.
And like,
It's
oh my
also-
God,
it's not because we know somebody that worked on it, right?
oh yeah, no, not just that.
Just because we know somebody who did the animation, that's not the reason, right? You're not-
That's
you're
true.
not
I
just
guess
saying
we should disclose that as well. Yeah, we did know someone in the development process of it.
That's not the reason why it's awesome. Though.
No, that's not. That's not the reason it's the movie of the summer.
Yeah.
But it was Teresa, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Teresa Reyes
Yeah.
for your fantastic work on this.
He didn't
We'll,
even know
we'll have
who
to
it
ask
was.
her why they
He didn't even know
redesigned
who you
Tony's
were.
face.
Oh yeah, Tony from the first movie to Incredibles
looks-
2, Violet's love interest.
Yeah.
It looks
He
like
looks-
an entirely different person. Like he
Yeah.
was murdered and replaced with a different Tony.
With a different Tony. They didn't wipe his
They
mind. They
just
replaced
murdered him. They just murdered him. Yeah.
Replaced it.
So that's that.
Well, they used a lot of character assets that from other people, and
Yeah.
they used it in other places. Like the guy who played what was it, the electric, the dude who can like shoot lightning out of his
Yeah.
hands.
Oh, yeah.
He was originally supposed to be the villain.
Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't supposed to have a sister, he was supposed to have a brother. And then she was supposed to be She-Electric.
Okay, and then they switched
And then
it.
they ended up just switching them and stuff like that. And
Actually,
then,
that's an interesting point real quick. Go ahead, finish. Cause I
oh
can go.
yeah, and then also, what was it? Frozo's wife was going to be in the movie. She was going to be in like a small part of the movie and stuff like that. And then she ended up getting cut. And then they were like, okay. So what they ended up doing is they ended up using her for one of the superheroes at the very end from like a European that's being introduced. She's like the really tall one with goggles and wearing a purple suit and everything like that. So I mean, they used multiple like assets they didn't use on. They were like, oh, this would be a really cool character, and then they didn't use it. They just used it on another character.
Storyboarding.
That's how they did. Yeah, that's how animation works because it's
so
too expensive to redesign someone
We
else.
all want an Incredibles 3 now.
Yes.
Probably,
Yeah.
right? Just because
Another 20 years.
Radbird's the shit and Incredibles is the shit.
Yes.
A super villain has to be super powered for that one, I think, by this point.
Yeah.
Not. I don't care about the Randian objectivism complaint. Just like I think that's the next like logical conclusion. And the first two are about the parents, so the third one has to be about the kids,
Yeah.
right?
So what I was saying
that's how
is
I feel.
because I was thinking the same thing, and I thought that because this one is very much a passing of the torch to like the kids of the next generation of supers, that the only way to logically do that is you have to either do a 5 to 10 year gap.
No, still no,
Really?
still no. Yeah.
No. Okay, hold on. Hear me out on this one. The only reason I'm saying that is because as of right now, if you do it from like, oh yeah, like you know, supers are now legal and stuff like that. I think that if you do it from there, you don't really get to see like the vastness of how far people can go. And like kind of like you know, super selling out, super's like you know doing advertisements and different stuff like that, you know. And I think if you did like a nice like 5-year gap where you know Violet's in college, Dash is in high school, and then Jack is just kind of like you know he's Dash's age now, or anything like that. You know he's 5 years old and
I
he has
still
his powers.
don't know. I still think they have to stay the same. Not the entire same age. Like maybe 2 years. I think I'll split the difference. 2.5 years at most, just to age them up a little bit, so they can have these different conflicts. But like you still need to keep them the same age range because of those conflicts and because what we talked about earlier about like them representing certain stages of like the nuclear family.
Yeah, I guess, but I think the main reason why I was going more towards that lengthier thing is because now you have history that they've now all been through and stuff like that, and you can also have like a separate because these movies were all about the building of the nuclear family and keeping the nuclear family together, and then the third one can be all about you know the separation of the nuclear family, like these because with fame or with or with powers and everything like that, and being able to be supers, they've all kind of you know separated, and this is all about like them trying to like get back together and trying to like you know become a family again and everything like that. And you can even have
That seems kind of dark.
I mean, Not necessarily. I mean, you can always have it that like Violet stopped being a super. She's much more of like an ambassador. She found work somewhere else. That she liked being a super, but that wasn't like the biggest thing she was doing. You can have it where Jack is. He's a kid and he's still being raised by Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, but also he realizes that he can finish missions in like 10 minutes. Like he's able to use his powers and.
I would be shocked if they made Jack like a legit superhero in these movies at like even from age 10. Well, this isn't like Avatar: The Last Airbender. As much as I love that show, okay, like.
But not only that, but also you can have Dash. And Dash could be kind of like Wally West Flash, where he's very cocky. He's very like, I'm the fastest man alive.
Like he is that.
Yeah, but that's how you make him and everything like that. And he's like sold out. He's very much like, oh yeah, he's selling out to like shoes
like
and stuff
Booster
like
Gold.
that. Yeah, like kind of like Booster Gold.
Hey,
or even like
man's getting paid. All right,
or even,
respect
like
that.
The superhero from Mystery Men, where he has like a bunch of patches all over his super suit, and he's like it has like Reebok
cut.
and stuff like that, and Coke.
Yeah.
But I think that would be really interesting, and like you can have like what is superhero. Like, what does it mean to be a superhero? Is it about like the fame? Is it about saving people, or is it what does it mean? And I think that would be kind of interesting.
I think you could still do all of that with them relatively the same age, is all I'm saying. Also because Brad Bird said he would probably keep them the same age.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So, yeah.
I don't like that, but I'll probably like it, but still.
Yeah. The one Brad Bird movie people don't like apparently is Tomorrowland, and even Gene likes that. I'm still gonna check it out. I just haven't.
Well, obviously Disney liked it because.
I don't think they did.
Well, he chose that over Star Wars 7. But anyways, we gotta move on. Yeah, that's weird to me too. The other movie that two of us on the panel have seen is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
I will see you later.
Goodbye,
you could be here if you want. I mean, you just gotta.
I honestly don't give a shit.
Okay,
Whatever happens.
Jurassic World: Fallen
what
Kingdom.
it is.
It is a sequel to 2015's mega super more money than God blockbuster Jurassic World, directed by Colin Trevorrow. Mm-hmm. We traded out for J.A. Bayona from The Orphanage, excellent horror movie. The Impossible, pretty good disaster movie. What was the other
Monster
one?
Calls.
Monster Calls, which I have not seen because I was iffy on it, but
well, it's good.
I have things to say. I put up a review on the channel and over at Talk Film Society, and I stand by everything I said in that review.
Well, you just watched it. You watched it earlier today.
I watched it earlier again today.
Maybe 30 minutes before we recorded this. What happened?
Yeah, a couple hours before, but I stand by everything negative I said. The script is unbearably bad. It holds back actors and director J.A. Bayona in ways that are unfortunate. But J.A. Bayona is so talented that everything that worked for me the first time worked even more for me like the second time. So the bad still bothers me. The good just overpowered it this time. And the first time I watched it, it was the opposite effect.
Yeah.
So the set pieces are incredible. His use of lights and shadows and like this almost like German expressionistic way. Like it's fucking Nosferatu with dinosaurs at one point, which is just insane. Mm-hmm. The dinosaurs are more monsters than animals, which is unfortunate, but that's not his fault
some
either.
of them.
It took me out both times I watched it when the Baryonyx is chasing after Claire and Justice Smith's character in the tunnels when lava's falling in front of it and it's still trying to eat them. It's not a zombie; it's a living creature. And
I imagine it would run away. It wouldn't like go like off.
Lava falls onto its fucking head and it's still trying to eat them.
Right.
So I got issues. Okay.
Maybe that's
My issues are, I think, totally valid, but the set pieces are amazing. There's just one like long take with the gyrosphere when it falls off the cliff into the water.
That was a good scene.
Oh my god! It's like that pulled me totally back into the movie. It's so intense. And then the entire like gothic horror finale with the haunted house thing with the Indoraptor. I was in, man. That was my fucking shit right there.
Yeah.
I felt back in love with
the
it.
problem with that was just like it was just there were really good scenes like the Indoraptor. Indoraptor.
The not Indominus Rex.
The not Indominus Rex,
Yeah.
even though it is.
So they did another raptor?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, Indominus Rex was supposed to be a T-Rex with a raptor.
Yeah.
This one's just a raptor
Raptor
with
with
more...
With
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look,
But
I liked that design this time.
it was a good design.
It was
like the
creepy.
feathers on
What was
the back,
the
something like
what was
that?
the original name for it? Diabolus.
The Diabolus Rex.
I
was the
wish
name
they
of
went
the
with that
Jurassic World.
name.
Just to like go all out, cartoony
Yeah,
villain.
yeah.
Okay.
But I will say like
Diabolus Rex.
the thing with Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom wasn't that I love the sequences, But there's just so much like bullshit in between. Like
Yeah.
all the bullshit in that
Was
movie
that-
just
was that-
brought it down.
Was that raptor
Where-
like underneath the island? Like they found
No. They created this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
How
first
is that
half, the
'cause
first
that-
half of the movie.
Very confused on like.
Yeah.
No. I got you. Because even like the overall structure of not just this movie, but the overall trilogy that Colin Trevorrow's got working.
It was, I can't wait till the next.
It's good. You bring it back to the park, then you head up to the darker sequel with the gothic horror elements before
Yeah.
blowing up the whole franchise.
Was it?
And then the third one is gonna be basically Mad Max with dinosaurs.
Yeah. What did
That's
he?
a good structure.
What did
Hold
he
on,
say?
the-
Like
the end of the movie is just like
The dinosaurs get out. That's spoiler alert. Well, I already said spoiler alert for this earlier.
Wait,
Right.
the dinosaurs get out?
Okay, so
when you
here's
say
the
dinosaurs
structure of the
get out,
movie.
Like they're just destroying the fucking city?
The first half of the first third, I guess, of the movie is the rescue operation and journey to the island.
Okay.
They
Don't
get
imagine,
there.
sorry.
Yeah. And they cannot rescue the dinosaurs legally because the U.S. government has decided that
They'll let 'em die.
It's a private enterprise that created these things, so it's a private enterprise problem. The problem with that is, they weren't alive. They're not our problem. You know, they're your problem, and no one wants to take care of it. So they need to undergo an operation with John Hammond's former friend and.
business
Wow,
partner.
Thank you, business partner. What the fuck? I don't know. I can think of that. And they're gonna go sneak on the island, take the dinosaurs, and bring it back to the mansion until
long
they
is
can
that-
bring them
what's his
back
name?
to the thing.
What's that?
How long is what's his name in the movie?
I want to be more specific.
No, the guy from the first one. I can't
Chris
remember.
Pratt,
Chris Pratt?
No, from the first Jurassic Park.
Like
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. I can't.
Like-
Ian Malcolm?
Like
He's in there for like 2
2
scenes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Really?
2 minutes probably.
Why was he doing so much press? Holy
I don't know,
shit!
poor guy.
Because he's
Because he got paid, son.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
like
Respect.
Jeff Goldblum, and he's like
Okay, so the rescue operation, and then the second half, or like the middle third, is like on this boat where they're escaping the island, and
Okay.
they're betrayed by the mercenaries because, of course, they are
Yeah,
like no
mercenaries.
shit, you know.
Why would they not?
Yeah, because the people hiring them are clearly villainous. Like it's not a twist.
yeah,
You know what's
they
happening.
look villainous.
Yeah, except for John Hammond's partner, who is a good guy. That was surprising to me that he wasn't like mustache twirly.
So he died.
No, he dies. Yeah,
James
But James Cromwell dies.
If he's a good person in these movies, he obviously
Nick,
has
do you
to
want
die.
do you want to see this movie now?
Well, we haven't even finished explaining it yet.
You know what? Because you already know how I am with bad movies. I want to see it just so I can know how bad it is in my own opinion.
The script is so bad, but the direction's so
Right.
good. So
Yeah.
I'm really split two
It's,
different ways.
I might
Yeah,
like it. Who knows? I might
Yeah.
like it.
But yeah, I will say, I really,
So-
I really disagree with like the viewing experience because for me it was just fucking boring. Like I hate to be like
I wasn't bored at all. Even when I
Like,
was
I was
frustrated,
just
I wasn't bored.
by just like everything in the middle between those
I'm
like
not
sequences.
gonna lie. The structure of what you just told me very much sounds like a bad script.
That's
It
sounds
really-
like one of
it
the
really
activities.
Does sound like something like
That's how Colin Trevorrow
Like
made
it
it.
really does sound like they gave somebody like 25 minutes and they were just
Yeah,
like,
they
come up
gave
with a
Colin
pitch.
Trevorrow
Like, give me a
25
pitch,
minutes.
25
No,
minutes.
the overall story structure is not the problem. It's
They
like
gave
when,
Colin
when people
Trevorrow-
start talking to each other, I'm just like, dude, shut up.
Like what was it? Franklin was kind of annoying.
No, okay, you know what?
Franklin was.
People didn't like those new characters. I thought they were
Some
fine.
of the character, like the
liked them.
mercenary characters, were just.
Oh, they have fucking Buffalo Bill Ted Levine in this.
Yeah.
And he has like nothing to do but like grimace.
and get killed.
Why?
I don't know.
You have Buffalo. You have a guy who played Buffalo
You
Bill.
have Ted
Make him-
Levine and he
you
has
have Ted
nothing.
Levine. Make him a weird like fucking like dude who likes to like skin fucking dinosaurs. I don't know.
Actually, he does have a little trait where he likes to pull the teeth from dinosaurs, and
That's
it's like
about
fucked
it.
up. But it's like the movie goes out of its way to like make them into monsters all the time, and then it's like, isn't this sad when they're dying and getting hurt? And it's like, no fucking shit, dude. Of course it's fucking sad. It's a living creature. But you didn't show me them like doing anything else besides stomping on people and eating people.
So
what
bad
the
people.
fuck?
So they're bad people.
Yeah,
Bad.
yeah. It's like no shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But
I like his death. It goes on a little too long, but when he gets eaten, because obviously he
Chris
does.
Pratt die?
No.
No.
There's an interesting idea with him and Claire's arc. They're way more bearable than the first movie.
Right.
In the first movie, I can't even like watch it
kids
anymore.
are-
Like both of them.
No, both of them. Claire is like a real human being in this one, which is nice.
Showing
Okay.
how he feels still.
No.
Just like in the opening when she's working at an office, but that's it.
She's like,
they open on that shot because they know that people are talking shit and they're like, hang on guys, like she's in the office, she'll wear heels. on the island. There you go. She's got boots. You happy now?
Colin
It's like,
Trevorrow
yes,
is
yes, I'm happy.
And then she was like, "Hold on, let me get comfortable." And she takes off the boots. And
I
puts
would,
on the heels.
you know what? I would have given that 5 stars just for the balls.
Right.
But no, like
Because the writer of Book of Henry really knows women.
Colin Trevorrow was only a rewriter. He wasn't even.
Oh,
That's a whole other
oh,
fucking can
okay.
of worms.
The
Claire's a dick in the first movie, and so is Owen. Owen's a dick in this movie, but he learns to be less
He's
of a dick.
He's still a dick in this movie.
Yeah, but he's way more. There's a purpose to his dickishness in this one that there wasn't in the first one.
Okay.
In the first one, they're just badly written. That's why they're assholes and like deserve to die. In this one, they're like, we gotta try to do something better. Claire realizes she fucked up, and so it's on her responsibility to go save these things because before she was just making a profit off them.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
Does
It mostly plays, so I'm like okay with it.
So are those which are Chris Pratt and Claire's character? Those are the only two that actually like
Come back, yeah.
Right.
Dr. Wu, B.D. Wong's character from the first Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, makes a small appearance.
Only a small appearance?
Yeah, he's a secret villain, but you already know that he's the villain because he
He's
gets
a
whipped
secret
in the
villain.
first movie.
Yeah, he gets away in the first movie. Like,
Yeah.
He was all like, hee, 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 hee.
Yeah, like it's.
When like he was flying away in the helicopter.
That's a talented dude. It's a shame that this
That
is the
dude is
biggest
given
thing
like
he's in.
he is like really good, but
He's given
like,
110%.
He gives 110% to like everything.
Yeah.
Like he played Hugo Strange in Gotham,
I heard.
and like
I heard.
he gives like 100 like.
For that show.
Like, you know what? They got somebody who's really good, and he's a pretty decent Hugo Strange. Like,
Yeah.
he's pretty fun.
No, I
as
think he's
Hugo
a great
Strange.
Hugo Strange.
Yeah, he's pretty fun as Hugo
I
Strange.
would want to see him like in a Nolan movie.
Yeah, like, it would have been really fun to see him in, like, a
Not
Nolan
in
movie.
some shitty TV
But,
show.
like, it kind of looks like he's on Broadway, and everybody else is in community theater. Especially when he's on Gotham, and it's
some
really
mission.
funny when like he's just like when he's giving it like 110%, and everybody else is calling it the fuck in, and like he's just like, I'm fucking here.
I think that's how I feel about Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Where everything and everyone but what's on the page is given 110%. There are actually, I think, there's some pretty striking imagery. There's some even moments that are like borderline kind of creepy. Like the finale with like the Indoraptor like clawing at the window a little bit and like extending itself over the bed. That's gonna fuck up a kid.
I think
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck up a kid.
Yeah, I saw that in the which kind of sucks because I kind of wish
In
they
the
didn't
trailers,
use that.
marketing?
I wish they didn't use that in the marketing material.
You know why they did, right? Because the first trailer came out and they only showed the first half of the movie and everyone was like, that looks bad. And then they're like, fine, show them the rest.
Show them all the cool shit.
Show them all the cool shit that we were saving, fuckers. And I was like, yeah, that was cool.
No,
I didn't even like it that
it's-
much. I just liked it more
So
this
okay,
time.
so the dinosaurs get out, and that's it. Like that's how the movie closes. They're just like, oh
Yeah, and then there's a broad idea in this movie about learning to live with the mistakes. Jurassic Park is about addressing the fact that mistakes were made.
Okay.
The other sequels are less about that, to be kind. And to be fair, I like Jurassic Park: The Lost World okay, and I like Jurassic Park 3 for a solid monster movie. This is right there with them for me now,
Yeah.
Okay.
where it wasn't before. But the idea, I guess, in this would be that like we've made these mistakes, now we have to live with them. That comes with the genetic cloning. Like, is it ethical? It doesn't even matter by this point. I wouldn't say it is, but it doesn't even matter because it's here, so we have to learn to coexist with it.
I originally thought they were going
And
to go
that's
with the.
that's bold.
I originally thought they were going to go like the Westworld route, where like the founders were trying to make like clones of themselves and like.
Funny you mentioned that. There is a clone little girl in this at the end.
So kind of. I
Kind
guess.
of.
Kind
They
of,
touch
yeah.
on it. They touch on it
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I thought it'd be very Westworld.
It feels way more Michael Crichton than any of the other Jurassic Park sequels for stuff like that alone.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool.
I mean, it's cloning is such like a huge thing where it's
Yeah.
like it's so controversial that like no one really mentions the fact that all these things were cloned.
Yeah.
And like we created things by cloning them,
And
and we
that's
just skip over it. And
yeah,
nobody
and
ever
that's
mentions it.
that's like that's a good idea to like confront in a movie like this. Like, is it ethical? I don't know, but you made them, so you got to be responsible for them, don't
Yeah,
you think?
and
It's a living thing now. If
I
it
mean,
wasn't
these are-
before.
I mean, that was like an entire thing of like Malcolm's like point of like, oh, they didn't like they were extinct, like their existence ended. It wasn't that they were like destroyed by like deforestation or they were hunted or anything like that. They had their time, and then they got extinct. Bringing them back is a bad idea. And stuff like that. Cloning is a bad idea, and everything else. And I think that's I noticed they never bring it up again. Like in no Jurassic Park movie they ever.
Not really.
In dialogue, it's just like in bits and pieces, but again, in Bayona's direction of the action, like not just like the set pieces, but like the way he has his characters like perform in scenes, it feels like it's actually addressing that for the first time in the series, and
It's good.
props to him for that, because
Right.
he just knocked it out of the fucking park.
Do
Any issues people have with this, I don't think are going to
are
be
the,
in
are
like
the dinosaurs
direction.
getting smart?
I think they're getting dumber, actually.
Yeah, they keep like
kinda
going
breaks-
into
kind of
lava.
breaks my heart to say.
They keep going into
Because-
lava,
because
stuff like
Because
that.
Blue and like the Indominus Rex were pretty good smart dinosaurs.
I like Blue in this.
Yeah.
I like Blue in this.
Is he- okay.
She's a cutie, and I love her. I'll fight. If anything happens to her in the third movie, I will kill everyone and then myself.
Is she like his pet now? Like the
No.
They kind of try to do that, and then they kind
he
of
ride
pulled
her
back from it at the end. No, and honestly, like I don't know how they haven't
She
done that
right.
yet.
Huh?
I mean, honestly, that's basically where I thought they were gonna go, and they don't.
You can ride a fucking ostrich, and that's basically.
I guess you could.
But yeah,
How they haven't like gone? How they haven't thought of the imagery of him with a machine gun riding on top of a raptor and gone? Well, that sounds fucking cool. Let's do that. How that hasn't like entered into one of these movies, I have no idea.
I don't know, but mixed bag, and I'd still recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
Just because, like,
I'll
in
have
terms
to
of
watch
like dumb summer movies,
Like
it
dumber
could do a
movies?
fucking lot. I saw Pacific Rim Uprising this year.
that was bad.
I'm sorry, Gene. I
liked
still
it.
got. I know.
I
I
don't
know.
care.
I'm not trying to knock you down. I'm just saying,
I
like,
am. You're wrong.
Oh,
if you want
to,
to, if you want to see
That's
what,
cool.
what it looks like when a legitimate horror movie director plays with something on a budget this big, like this is,
Dude,
I think
yeah.
you could do a lot worse. And if you don't want to check it out in theaters, if you weren't interested before, I wouldn't recommend it. But
Wait for Netflix.
wait for Netflix or rental.
plane.
Get a couple beers and some friends for a
Plane,
fun late
yeah.
movie night.
Plane ride.
Yeah.
Plane ride. I don't know. I don't know about
I
that.
don't know. I would watch.
No.
that.
Plane. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's shift out of Jurassic World, then we'll wrap up the episode. But
Sure.
plane movies, I think, is a very specific like thing. I think you got to go for something more lightweight than this. Now, because this movie gets fucking fucked up at times.
What like Eon Flux? Because I swear to God,
Romantic comedies?
every single.
When Harry Met
flight
Sally
I
is a
ever-
great plane movie.
Whenever I go on a plane, I don't know why, but on the roster, Eon Flux is always there. I don't know why.
I don't know,
It's
yeah.
always like, hey, would you like to watch Eon Flux? And because it always pops up first, I'm like, who the like, what were they like? Why? Who's like, oh, this is a great fucking plane movie.
Eon Flux.
No, I think a great plane movie is something that's like. I think it has to be like a comedy or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on a fucking
Just
plane. I don't have a heart
anything where a
attack.
plane doesn't crash.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Don't watch Flight of the Phoenix, either
don't
version.
watch Final Destination.
Final
That would probably
Destination.
be a terrible one,
Alive.
United 93. Just fuck up
but
everyone.
World Trade Center
Yeah.
in general. No, but I do think that like a plane movie should be funny. Like it should. Honestly, I feel like a plane movie should be a movie that you can tune in and out of.
Yeah.
Because in no matter where, because I feel like
Deep
even
Blue
if you-
Sea.
Deep Blue
Deep
Sea
Blue
would probably
Sea
make
is
a great plane movie.
Because you know why? Because I could fall asleep in the middle of Deep Blue Sea, wake up near the middle to the end, and be like, oh, all right, cool, I didn't miss much.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Any movie that, like, if you fall asleep in the middle of it, you wake up, you're like, I didn't miss much. I can still watch this. That's good. That's a good movie.
Shit, I had it. Fuck. It's gonna kill me. I don't have it anymore. Someone else bring up another movie. I'm so sorry.
okay.
Fucked it all up.
I saw License to Wed on a plane. and I thought it
License
was
to
fucking
Wed.
hilarious.
There we go.
I thought it was you know what? I loved that movie. It's not Robin Williams' best movie,
No. God,
but
no.
it's still enjoyable.
Right.
And
Robin
John-
Williams makes even the worst movies he appeared
John
in
Krasinski
enjoyable.
and Robin
God
Williams
bless him.
are a good pair, and they both play off each other really well, and I really love that movie. Like I honestly, it's not a great movie.
It's your Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
But you know what?
License
I like
to
watching
Wed.
it. Like
Yeah.
if I have nothing else to do and it's like on something or anything like that, I'll sit there and I'll watch it.
Sure.
I watched Domino on a plane one time,
Okay.
and I was sitting next to a little old lady,
Oh my god!
and she I could feel the judgment coming from her.
Wait, like on your laptop?
On
or
my
like the
laptop,
screen?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This was like, oh, fuck, it must have been like 10 years ago. Oh shit, we're wrapping up.
I guess.
Okay, we're doing that now.
Bravo.
Yeah. So I guess plugs. Anything else? Oh, we're already faded to black. Okay. Plugs.
Yeah. Okay. So you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, the Nick Valero, and Facebook, Nick Valero. Follow me. Everything else.
No, Gene.
Follow me on Gene9892 on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, you can follow me at DEWGO Waffles on Twitter. And I don't even remember if that's my Instagram anymore. The Waffle Press. Like and subscribe. Because if you didn't like this, you should like and subscribe anyways, because you might find something you do like Gene and I's Kaiju show, Talk All Monsters, the Waffle Press Retrospective, which is finishing up the Hannibal Retrospective and getting ready for Predator, and lots of other goodies, and check back for an E3 video later this week.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, thanks for watching. We've been professionally unprofessional.